go back to the house and I mentioned it to her, and she's really, on Commercial Street? I said, yeah, on Commercial Street. We can't fix it. It's irreparable. It's just nothing we can do with it. She says, oh, what are you, a wimp? Sure enough, I knew I was done. I knew I was beat. We were buying this house.
It's the most important thing I did in my life was build this house.
When we decided that we were going to actually tie the knot, there was no question it was here. Fred, you serious? You want to put an ice rink in here? I says, yeah. We'll start it over there and we'll go around here and whoa, yeah, let's do it. The longevity, the late stayers, that's when we get together and I party. But yes, I am lucky because I had the opportunity to do all this. And here's the thing that you can quote. This home, the walls have meaning.
Yeah, give us
Birth name?
What do you want?
Yeah, all right,
Give
my
us what
name's
you want to
Fred.
tell us.
I go by Fred, and last name Larkin. Born and raised in Toronto. East End, Toronto, yeah. I got a job here in Milton working in the hardware industry. I was a lumber sales rep for Home Hardware, as a matter of fact. I basically moved here for the job and been here ever since. When I met Jennifer, which I did meet through the store, and we kind of just hit it off and quietly became a couple. You know, and that's when the whole escapade began. That's when all of this actually took footing, is when we got together and we rented a place for about a year and decided that we're going to find our own place. As I was passing by this particular location, 79 Commercial Street, there was a for sale sign just being hammered into the ground. I go back to the house and I mentioned it to her, and she's, really, on Commercial Street? I said, yeah, on Commercial Street. She says, let's go look at it. I'm thinking, oh my God. First thing I saw was this lopsided door, and I thought, oh boy. And the house was in terrible repair. I looked to the left was the backyard, and it was just weeds. You know, 65 feet wide, 100 feet deep weeds. There's a little bit of a garden in the back of the house, and otherwise it was just disgustingly looking. Now, as we get into the house, I walked in the front door, and the first thing I could smell was stale, damp. Wow, smelled sort of like dead animals, you know, I don't know. It was just really, really bad. And so I said to Jennifer, she was with the real estate agent, Deb, and I said to Jennifer, I says, you go ahead and have a look at it. I've seen all I need to see. I was very negative. I really, truly was extremely negative. We can't fix it. It's irreparable. It's just nothing we can do with it. Well, what are you, a wimp? So she called me a wimp, and I'm thinking, this will be a war zone. Have you ever lived in a war zone? I mean, like, have you ever been through a renovation of a home where you can't sleep at night, the dust is killing you, and you've got no place to lay a cup of coffee or a pop because everything is destroyed? That's what we're going to be in, this war zone. I said, and you've never been through that? And she says, no, but I'm willing to go ahead and go through it. I want this house. I love this house. I want to buy this house. Sure enough, I knew I was done. I knew I was beat. We were buying this house. At that point in time, we're going to rebuild with the new design from there. And during that period of time, we basically engaged our family to help come to what we called a smash and bash. We're going to tell everybody to bring their hammers and their sledgehammers and show up on the 26th of April. We're going to destroy this house. So it's a party. It's a smash and bash party. And yeah, we had about 30 people show up that night. My daughter, her son, friends of theirs. We gutted pretty much the entire upstairs and better than half of the downstairs that Friday night. So anyway, at that point in time, we were ready to rock and roll. The foundation was in. And then we started framing, my brother and I and my son. And we framed the house probably 3 weeks. Initially, we constructed it because there was Jennifer
myself and her 2 girls living here, or would be living with us. And so part of the design was to actually create 2 bedrooms upstairs that were identical. No fighting, no arguing. Everything was very compact here. Everything was wide open. Everything was built to accommodate family life. And yeah, as time went on, that was who lived in here. Rebecca, Stephanie, myself, and Jennifer. I guess about 7 or 8 years ago now, my youngest daughter, well, she came and moved in with us. Her and the 2 grandkids that are here with me now. And just last fall, Jennifer's brother moved in with us. One happy family, and then of course there's the dog Shivers. It was just kind of something that transpired, but as it was growing, it became more part of who we were, who we are, and who we were going to be along the way. Like, carving out this property was something really quite special. It was like I would say to Jennifer, there's your canvas, now paint on it, right? And she'd put together the gardens, and she'd put together, the sign work, the various aspects of what we have around here. But more importantly, we built it as a home. And, I had lots of ideas of why and what we were going to do when we built it because of what we tore down. I looked at the guy who built this house. He built it out of need for his family. So when I saw that, I was thinking, that's what we want to do here. We want to recreate what it was maybe possibly like in 1857 when this guy looked at his bare piece of land and said, we got to put something up here for the family, honey. And here's the thing that you can quote. This home, the walls have meaning. And part of it's because we did it. Part of it is because we built it, but the other part of it is there's echoes that come out of all these walls from all the action and all the family and all the love and all the home in here. Yeah. So one day Jen and I were sitting on the part of the deck that we had just completed and kind of just sat there and thought about our gardens and what we were going to do. And well, as a matter of fact, one of the things we had was an old bathtub that was sitting in the middle of the yard, and we'll put that out in the back corner and grow a garden in it. And then the first summer we had a bathtub with a garden growing in it. So I had another friend, a customer, that had a manure pile the size of the CN Tower. He asked me if I wanted any manure. So he bought me a double axle tandem dump truck full of manure. It was probably about 60, 70 yards. So, hey, hon, we've got some material for gardens. I built a framework and filled it up with this manure, and that was going to be our vegetable garden. That was the summer I built the pond, the one pond, the lower pond. We literally sculpted this yard over the course of about 6 or 7 years. Now we got the gardens around the pond. We got the gardens around the deck area. We've got the gardens down the right side. One Saturday morning as an example, I had 3 skids of stone. And I thought this would be a great spot for a garden. And I just randomly laid those stone down the whole 132 feet of yard space, right? Too high. Put a cap on them, because I had the stones, and I put a cap on them, and I says, okay, honey, you got all of this area here where you can plant whatever you want. She says, oh, I got some nice hibiscus, I'll put them in there. And within 3 or 4 days, she had the whole south fence garden along that whole fence. Beautiful garden with ferns and just stuff that she saw working well in there, and a couple of rose bushes. Even if you just look at the back fence, the artwork on the fence. There's not like 4x8 sheets of 3/8 inch ply that Jennifer painted, and there's 8 of them, across the backyard. And so in the wintertime when it's cold outside, you look back at the back of the yard and it looks like vegetation is growing still, and it does. It really looks like you're in a summer scene somewhere, right? So there's a lot of things that just came together from creativity and just hard work, just hard work. Everything was spontaneously visioned, if you wish. When my daughter came and moved in, I did a lot of fabrication for them. Like there's a sandbox I built when they moved in. I mean, they use it all the time. It's not like, oh, this is another thing that kids will never touch, you know. No, they use it frequently. How they enjoy the elevations of this yard, the contours of it. I think how they enjoy like chasing a ball around and going through the obstacle course. Just creativity. I find them getting heavily involved in the creativity that this yard has to offer. Now, one thing I need to tell you that makes this the very, very, very most special place on earth. My buddy and I are sitting on the deck. He's like my son. He's a young friend. He's same age as my oldest boy, almost. He's a year younger than my oldest boy. But he was a creative. He was my disc jockey. He was the guy that did all the tunes, played all our part. Anyway, we were having a beer one night, leaning over the railing. I looked around and I says, you know, Mike would make this the pièce de résistance. And he said, what's that, Fred? And I said, you remember Gage Park? You ever been to Gage Park? He says, yeah. And I said, an ice rink like they have at Gage Park. Fred, you serious? You want to put an ice rink in here? I says, yeah. We'll start it over there and we'll go around here and we'll, whoa, yeah, let's do it. So then it was in works. It was in the works. We were building an ice rink. It was cold. The ice was phenomenal. It was actually very hard to believe that we had put that ice in and it was as pristine as it was. I mean, it was just amazing how beautiful the ice rink looked. And there was probably 45 people here, 20 skaters, kids. Youngest would be 9 maybe, and the oldest being 70 something, me, or 60 something it was actually. You could skate up and down and around, and there was actually a downhill that you would hit on one of the paths that you'd follow. And there were people that showed up here that, you know, just like, wow, you know, like you said, bring your skates. Well, never would have expected this. It was really quite spectacular. It was like a family day. It was like an amazing family day. We had an annual party. It started the first year Jen and I were together at our other house, the house that we rented. It was an introductory party so that my family, her family, we all got kind of together, and we decided that would be the first annual. That was 2006. So we had one every year until COVID. Probably no less than 40 people and as many as 120. When we decided that we were going to actually tie the knot, get married, get the papers, do the official marriage, there was no question it was here. Like when I have a party, I usually cook all the food. And so I have it come out in stages, and it's a never-ending supply of food. And my home on a night of a party or a barbecue is the barbecue. I don't leave. I take a spot later on at night when everybody's gone. Well, not everybody, but the longevity, the late stayers, that's when we get together and I party, you know. And there's usually 7 or 8 of us that hang around till 2, 3, 4 in the morning. I mean, I had a guy once say to me, one of my visitors on a regular basis, "You have no idea how lucky you are. Look at, you've got, you know, listen to that waterfall," and he'd start pointing out various things that were going on in the backyard as an example. He says, "You have no idea how lucky you are." And I says, "I'm lucky. I built all this." "Maybe you're the guy that's lucky." And, you know, and I would say that to him, right? He'd go, "You know, that's true. I'm quite lucky to be able to come over and enjoy this." When I would say things like that, I would think, But yes, I am lucky because I had the opportunity to do all this, right? That we had, I had the cooperation of particularly with Jennifer. I mean, like Jennifer just, okay, we'll do that. Sure, we'll do that, and she would constantly be, like I can remember sitting out there on the porch at night with the big table out there and the plywood on the table and me painting the raw surface and her putting the signs on it. And that all comes from having somewhere to do it, some place to enjoy it, right? And so, yeah, that's definitely something it's gonna be hard to handle. It's gonna be hard to handle. Those are the sort of things that this yard will constantly remind me of. This whole property, this house, this home will remind me of in the future. And I just wanted to get it so that we can talk about it.
'79 Commercial is a place that we've all come to, we've all grown, we've developed, and it's going to be missed.
These barbecues that we've had over I don't even know how many years, so many years, I've missed some, but they've been great. The food, as always, is excellent. The company is great, how everybody comes together and new people come. We met a couple people and being living here, and they come, and it's a really good way of bringing everybody together and having a good time.
Okay, for Fred and Jen, this is for you. You've always been great friends of mine for 20 years now, and I'm sad to see that and hear that you're maybe leaving Milton, but gone but never forgotten maybe. But we'll certainly keep in touch. We've been great friends for a lot of years.
This party is fun, exciting, and we get to have a lot of fun, and a lot of people are coming over, and it's a family reunion, and it's a party. Hit the granny.
I'd probably like them to realize and accept the contributions that they all had to it, whether they were part of the construction or just part of the home environment. They all contributed, every one of them, and I want them to keep that with them, that Papa, Grandpa was real proud of all of that, and that they got a chance to enjoy it, got a chance to enjoy Papa's love.